Hello, YouTube subscribers. Today or tonight, whenever you're watching this, I am doing a Marvel MCU slash Sony Spider-Verse video, conversation, theories, whatever. Um, and I'm gonna try and make this video as short as possible. Okay, I'm gonna start with the MCU. Okay, Disney, Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios knows that there's some problems. Every Marvel fan knows there's some problems with the MCU. Disney, Kevin Feige, and Marvel Studios knows what those problems are, and they are fixing those problems. Will we always have the greatest MCU movie? The greatest MCUM, Marvel Cinematic Multiverse, movie? No, not always. I mean, hell, the Infinity Saga was not that great. Well, it was great. It was good. I mean, I liked all its movies, and I so far like all the movies for the Multiverse Saga, but Marvel fans still had their problems with most of the movies from the Infinity Saga, like Phase 1. Um, Most people kinda didn't like Iron Man 2. Most people didn't like the first Thor movie. Most people didn't like uh, uh, Thor Dark World and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Like Age of Ultron. But with the MCU, with the MCM, it's getting better. It really is. It didn't. Sure, it started out hard, weird, and not perfect, but it's getting there. It's getting back where it needs to be. It's getting back where we want it to be. And it can only do that with our appreciation, with so many with so much to say about it. Maybe not a lot of negative, definitely not. Maybe with a little bit less negative to say about how it's getting there, but not everything is built. Not everything has to build perfectly. Most time there are a few stumbles, but it still gets where it needs to be, back where it needs to be. So, um, so, and that goes with the actor and the character Kang the Conqueror. Okay, Loki season 1, who he remains. The who he remains. Kang the Conqueror was not supposed to be the big bad. Now, once Kevin Feige saw the actor betrayed who he remains, loved his betrayal, loved the acting that he threw, and where it did make who he remains, Kang the Conqueror, the big bad, which I love the betrayal of the acting that the actor give for King, for who he remains, for King the Conqueror, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, when of course the actor came back and played and played King the Conqueror. I loved how he did. Sure, did I like Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania? Did I have my few issues with it? Yes. Did I like it? Yes. but I'll get into those details once I review that movie on my channel. I'm not, but and to me, was Kang the Conqueror's uh did the actor that played King the Conqueror was the bad part of the movie? No, it was not. It, to me, it was the greatest part of the movie, because what makes a superhero movie great is its villain, and that was it. So the whole thing that Disney and Marvel is using the excuse of, oh, we're getting rid of King the Conqueror, who he remains, as the big bad, and changing it to Doctor Doom because of the acting that he did in Doctor Strange, not in Doctor Strange, but in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantum Realm movie. No. Sorry, I'm sorry. Any Marvel fan, any Marvel fan, even a DC fan, could see the complete truth behind that. Because the truth behind that whole excuse is the laziest, dumbest excuse I could ever heard. Because the real truth behind that is that they don't want to say, oh, well, we're kicking him out because he's still in the crossfire of the court case of his ex-girlfriend. BS. Bullshit. I'm sorry. And, in my case, basically, Disney wants another Johnny Depp problem. Oh, well, who cares if he's innocent or guilty? I mean, let's get rid of him. He's replaceable. Okay, John Depp was not replaceable. And he did turn out to be innocent. After actually, not saying Johnny Depp didn't fight. I'm just saying actually finally won, and finally got the ability to say, I was right, I was not wrong, I am innocent. Same with the guy that's playing Who He Remains, Kang the Conqueror. He is, even though there's all this shit coming up, quoting that he's guilty, quoting that it's aiming to there, like Johnny Depp did. He had a lot of shit aiming that he was guilty. But at the end of the day, people did see that he was actually truly innocent. So maybe, just maybe, that's the same freaking problem with the actor that played Who He Remains, with Kang the Conqueror. So, for the actor himself that had a scene, just one scene, and Loki season 1, and not just one, not just two, not just three, but two handful of scenes in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. And just a handful of scenes in Loki season 2 as Albert Einstein type way, and a variant of Who He Remains, and once again, Who He Remains. But so by those introductions of plenty of variants, even one older variant that we saw in Loki season 1 of Who He Remains, of Kang the Conqueror, you can't really replace him like the MCU did with Rhodey. Okay, yeah, sure. Maybe if the same actor played in 2 movies, sure, I mean, I guess that would still be okay to replace an actor with somebody else, even though they did 2 movies. But they did like 3, 4, 5 movies. No, you can't really replace that because the people already expect to see that actor or actress as that character. Now, Captain Marvel, she can be replaceable. She can come back. I mean, it's debatable. I like her as Captain Marvel. She does well, but I have seen her grown over time to be the bitch everybody knows her to be. Um, or seen her to be. But I'm just stating that the actor that plays who he remains, Kang the Conqueror, they should keep. And should keep the Avengers movie of Kang Dynasty in place. Because even if they do want to get rid of the actor that plays who he remains, Kang the Conqueror, they can still do that. But honestly, they built who he remains, Kang the Conqueror, up so much where they need to complete that full circle, where they need to complete where they want to head, because it's like, yeah, it sorry, it's just everybody expects that lineup, that lead up, since you guys built it this far, since the MCU built it this far. And honestly, the way I see Kang Dynasty could happen, okay, yeah, everything builds up, everything happens still the way it needs to be to build up to Avengers Kang Dynasty. And at the end, Avengers fight Kang, multiple variants of Kang, and who's on top, who's been watching all of it, who's been known about Kang this whole entire time, and who, like I said, is sitting at the throne, at Kang's throne, with Kang underneath his foot. Doctor Doom. Doctor freaking Doom. And that's how I see Kang Dynasty ending and going directly into Avengers Secret Wars. And Avengers Secret Wars is getting is how I see it, get a team that Doctor Doom does not know about, that did not expect to happen, since he's so full of power. He sees all, knows all, and crap. Even though I already said that he kind of is already like that before he got the king power, before he got the king throne, who he remains throne. The Avengers get a little secret team together. Attack Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom didn't expect it, and that's how. And maybe a few Avengers died. Maybe a few Avengers didn't die. Maybe all of them lived, and happy ending. Which I do have to say, okay, yeah, when they build to the Young Avengers, once they get to the Young Avengers, they have to be a part of Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, because honestly, if the Young Avengers is not part of it, and sure, they got their own shit to deal with, but this is the world. Kang Dynasty threats the world, the multiverse, and Secret Wars is part of that whole threat to the world, the multiverse that the Young Avengers is a part of. So they have to be a part of that to protect what they brought the Young Avengers to do in the first place. So, I'm begging to, not really to Disney, because Disney doesn't really care, because they just care about the green. I'm begging to Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios, that is in the boardroom talking about the MCU, the MCM. It's keep Kang the Conqueror as the big bad. And if you guys still want to do Doctor Doom, then still do him, just in Secret Wars, not as the permanent big bad. I'm just saying, keep who he remains, Kang the Conqueror, the actor himself, as that big bad. If he's in a court case or not, if he's guilty or not, because honestly, everybody knows now these days it's apparently okay to have guilty people or not guilty people, actors and actresses, as still acting as their main job. I mean, shit. Because even later on, even if people were pointed guilty and years long later they come back to acting, people still see them as that type of person and don't want to see them still act, but they're still in that movie. So really, truly, any other year, any other day, it does not matter. Apparently. Okay. Getting away from that, into Sony's Spider-Verse. And this is going to be a tanglement. I've seen the Madam Web trailer. I was going to review it, but after I woke up this morning, I figured to say fuck it and just do a complete video on the King Conqueror, the actor that played He Who Remains / King the Conqueror situation with the MCU, and my thoughts on it with the Sony Spider-Verse problem, with my thoughts and opinions with their freaking problem with it. Okay, I watched the Madam Web trailer. Started out decent, started out fine. At the end of the trailer, after I watched the complete trailer, my opinion was, oh, so it's the Marvels just with Madam Web. Because you've got 3 Spider Women from the comics that barely anybody knows about. And that Madam Web is protecting against a villain that's basically a frenemy, enemy and a friend most of the time. Depends on what the day and month and shit. 2 Spider-Man, 2 Peter Parker, that fought these 3 Spider-Women and lost against them. So he's going back in time to fight them, to kill them. So in the future he can actually stay to his word that he's the strongest, he's the most powerful spider person out there, and that no one can feed him. Yeah. And also in the comics, he didn't really have his own Spider-Man costume, but in this movie he does. But there are a few scenes where they do show him as comic book accurate, so that's at least a positive for me. I do like the Madam Web character. I do like where they're heading with her, because it's set in the 80s, showing a young Uncle Ben, Peter Parker's mom, and maybe the dad. Um, I mean, I know they've shown Peter Parker's mom and dad before, but this is where they're like younger. Um, Set in the 80s, Peter Parker is still in Mrs. Parker's belly. And Madam Web works with Uncle Ben, um, and once she gets her powers, she can see into the future, and she can help each Spider Person. Later on, at the end of the movie, she realized, okay, she has to protect these Spider people, that the web of life. And apparently, at the end of the Madam Web movie, it's supposed to show her ending up crippled in her chair that everybody knows her in and loves. And honestly, okay, the three Spider Women that's in there that she has to help protect in the comics does not come before Spider-Man. Spider-Man comes before them. But Sony is changing that. When before the trailer, months ago, when we just got a article about this, of the story plot, is that someone, a villain from from Peter Parker's Spider-Man past, comes to the future, technically future, comes back to the past, and Madam Web knows it. That she follows the villain, and that protects Mrs. Parker and Mr. Parker and Uncle Ben and Aunt May, because Madam Web tells them that basically the baby you are about to have is going to become this, and basically you two have to die. The parents have to die, and Uncle Ben has to die for him to become this. Um. Uh. So. Yeah, my friend thinks, because of Across the Spider-Verse theory, Across the Spider-Verse movie, he now believes that actually does not have to happen, when reality it still does. Just because a cartoon states that, does the one of the cartoon Spider-Verse movie quotes that, doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean crap. It actually still does need to happen. So but when you watch the trailer, you get a whole different type of story plot. You get a whole different idea for the Madam Web movie. You get the Marvel's idea of the Spider-Verse Madam Web movie. And it sucks. In my opinion, the movie looks like it's gonna suck. Which I feel bad. I really do. Because I like the Madam Web character. I like the idea of her. And I was really hoping for her to be able to stand by herself, because she sounds like the type of character that would be strong enough to stand by herself, like Venom. And I'm about to go into Venom real quick. Jumping from Madam Web to Venom. That Madam Web is in the same universe as Venom, and just set years before Venom. And so basically, the time that we get into Venom, the first movie Venom, that she's in her little chair, hopping from Spider-Verse to Spider-Verse, Spider-Universe, across the Spider-Universe, seeing the web of life and all that shit. Uh, so basically, in Madam Web, the article, article, the basically page that was leaked and released out months ago about the Madam Web movie, since it is part of the same universe that Venom is in, yes, Venom does have his own Spider-Man, does have his own Peter Parker. And with that, Sony was going to do, and I'm hoping they still do it, was going to allow Disney Marvel to have Tom Holland's Spider-Man completely, but Sony was still going to help Kevin Feige to still do the Tom Holland solo Spider-Man movies, but Sony was going to bring in their own Spider-Man along with the Madam Web movie. And I was thinking this, and I still think this is a good idea. That's a good idea. It's smart. That's fantastic. But, and so when I heard the first time, I ignored it. And when I heard it again and again and again, it just built up. And at this point, I'm about to explode. Because Sony, don't be fucking dumb. I get what you want to do. And I understand it. I mean, any Spider fan, Marvel fan, even DC fan will go along with it. But the way, to me, the way to go about it, you're going wrong. Because Sony wants, I mean, if you asked me years ago, like back in 2016, 17, would you like to see Tom Holland go up against Tom Hardy's Venom? I would have told you, hell yeah, let's go for it. Me now, in the future, no, I do not. After hearing from the Madam Web area that's connected to Venom, that's in the same universe as Venom, the Venom universe has its own Peter Parker, has its own Spider-Man. That's great! Why is Sony sticking with, even though they know in their heads that every Tom Holland fan and every Spider-Man fan wants to see Tom Holland go up against Tom Hardy's Venom, and apparently Tom Hardy really wants to go up against Spider-Man. He doesn't really care what Spider-Man it is, if it might ruin that Spider-Man character even more, or, like, for example, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, who already has established that already has a symbiote, Venom, in his universe. So if Sony pushed Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man into Venom universe to fight Tom Hardy's Venom, it would have ruined more of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, because he's not fighting his Venom that's already established, is already in his universe. So why not do that one? Tom Hardy's, let's go with Tom Holland. Everybody loved Tom Holland. Everybody wants to see Tom Holland goes against Tom Hardy's Venom. I mean, it's cute. Tom Hardy. No. Dude, seriously, Sony, make it easier on yourself. You already got a story right there, right in fucking front of you. From the Madam Web movie. Peter Parker, Spider-Man is already in a Venom universe. Already in Tom Hardy's Venom universe. Add in that basically from the first movie, his ex-fiance quoted back in the first movie once they were together that he got ran out of New York. Who else to add in that Tom Hardy was using the excuse, using her as a reason why he was running out of New York. But reality, the real reason why he was running out of New York was because he had to. He had no elsewhere in New York to go. Because of Peter Parker. Because of Spider-Man. Got where he is at now. In the first one, he got the Venom. The symbiote. Venom. He in Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. In Venom 3, he remembers there's a Spider-Man My Universe. I'm gonna go to talk to that one. Along the little spider. Venom 3, Long Little Spider or something like that. He goes talk to his own Spider-Man. Fights his Spider-Man. Teams up with his own Spider-Man. Not with Tom Holland's. I mean, it just gives a longer, bigger chunk of that movie for Venom trying to figure out how to jump from his universe to Tom Holland's universe. When to just make it fast and simple, have him go talk to his own universe Spider-Man. When he already knows that and established that he has his own Spider-Man to go talk to and go after. And then since Tom Hardy does not want to do another Venom movie, and Sony knows that, and since Venom 3 is the last Venom movie, keep the idea of Spider-Man in Venom's universe alive, and not have Tom Holland be the poster boy. Not trying to be mean, because he's already the poster boy of Spider-Man in the MCU. Not for the Sony universe. I mean, shit, Sony already has enough poster boys and girls in the Sony Spider-Verse as it is. But for the Venom one, sure, replace, not trying to be mean to Tom Hardy since he wants to retire from the Venom character. Have Venom team up with his universe Spider-Man. Well, first fight, like, as the main idea. Then team up. And at the end of Venom 3, yeah, sure, his universe Spider-Man would already have his own costume. Already have his own design. But it would be cool to have Tom Hardy pass on the symbiote, to pass on Venom onto his Spider-Man after, they made peace with each other. Eddie Brock wants to retire as the superhero gig, but Venom still wants to do the superhero thing. So Venom asked Eddie if it would be okay. I know it would be hard, but okay to pass on from you to the Spider-Kid. Sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Spider-Kid would be fine with it after. And go off from there, from Venom 3 to the opening of Sony's own, not have to share with the MCU Spider-Man, and so they can have their own Spider-Man, and they can do their own movies, their own cell, their own vision, and he has a symbiote suit, or most of the time he can use his own suit that he made himself, and Venom and him goes back and forth, and they stop villains, save people, just like the Venom movies. Or most of the time, can be scenes where like I said, he uses the suit that he made and just let Venom have a day off, I guess. Um, uh, and then from there, I know that Sony wants to do like a whole Endgame, Spider-Verse Endgame, and honestly, what I have to say about that, if Madame Web does good, I would be willing to watch it. Like, I know Sony will be wanting to partner up. I don't know if this is still an idea, but there was rumors that Sony was going to partner up with Prime, do a Prime series of Silk, which again, they could bring that back to the connected to the Venom universe, and because there's a Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, in the Venom universe, which Silk got bit by the same spider that Peter did. So, connection right there. While being building up to the Spider-Verse Endgame, Tom Holland gets introduced by his Miles in the MCU. Maybe the Sony Spider-Man gets introduced by his. Miles Morales is really big right now, and I'm guessing Sony wants to try and do like a Miles Morales in every Peter Parker's universe. Like, okay, you got the cartoon, you got the Venom Peter Parker universe, you got Tom Holland, you got Andrew Garfield, you got Tobey Maguire. Miles Morales in every universe type thing. So I'm guessing that you got Gwen Spider they want to try and do in live action. There's you know what? I have a worker at work. She's a waitress. Her name's Taylor. She's a Spider-Woman fan. She didn't like the idea when they did the Spider-Verse cartoon of her being black, but that's because she's original. Because she's one of those people that, well, in the comics, she was white. Yada, yada, yada. And not a male, a female type thing. Same thing with the Ariel situation, basically. So they could do a Spider-Woman TV series or movie. Just with the Spider-Verse live action Endgame movie, I can see happening if they do it right, if they want to do it right. And honestly, my first opinion, my two first opinion, my first opinion and my second opinion of how to have Sony perfectly to build up to that, to basically destructor that, is keep the Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, in the Venom universe alive. Bring in that Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, in the Venom universe. And after Venom 3, continue with that Spider-Man on the side of Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire. And then going in, and then introducing more Spider people along the way on the side of the Peter Parkers, the 4 Peter Parkers that we now got introduced: Tobey, Andrew, Tom, and the Sony in the Venom universe, Peter Parker, and then we on the side of the other Spider people, we finally got to the Spider-Verse Endgame, and how a long ride that would be, and a long ride of laughs, smiles, and tears that will be, and if they just do it perfect, correctly. The Craven movie, Craven the Hunter, I'm willing to go and see it on the side of the Madam Web. I'm excited that it's actually rated R. Do I want it to be connected to? Do I know it's connected to Venom? Yes. Do I want to see that Kraven the Hunter against Tom Holland? No. Against the Venom universe, Spider-Man? Yes. Do I want to see basically every Spider-Man go up against their own Sinister Six? Tobey, Andrew, Tom, the Venom universe Spider-Man? Yes. But I know there's some gray areas with some of those. Like Tobey, probably not gonna happen. Andrew, probably will, probably won't. Tom, probably will, probably won't. The Venom universe, probably will, probably won't. So it's and if they're gonna bring in Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, Spider-Woman, whatever, have I would like to see the actress from the Amazing Spider-Man, actress that played Gwen Stacy in that one, to come back and play a live-action version of Gwen Stacy Spider-Gwen, because to me, I feel like that chemistry between Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and that Gwen Stacy's Spider-Gwen would be great and strong and more logical. And also a little bit more upsetting because of the chemistry that they both have. Now, with all that, with it building up to the Spider-Verse Endgame live action movie, the one thing Sony should not definitely do to keep in that whole pile of live action Spider-Verse build up is definitely not keep the cartoon connected to it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse animated cartoon movies. But for them to just be funny little Spider-Man movies, that's cool. That basically will give us the ability to see in live action something to have of a idea of what the live action will be about. Yes. But for it to be connected with the live action, I'm sorry, no. I have to say no on that part. I was willing to... Okay, this is what I'm willing to allow to see. Tobey, Andrew, and Tom to be a part of it. And whoever else I did a live action, maybe Spider-Man, like the 1977, could it have his like own voice, could voice his own Spider-Man. Tobey, Andrew, and Tom could come in to voice their own Spider-Man, or to actually look like live action. And then so. But other than that, for it to stay connected, to be connected, and be in the like live action Spider-Verse movie, no. I'm gonna have to say no on that part. Alrighty. Drop your comment down below. What you guys liked about this video, what you guys didn't like about this video. Hit that like button, hit that dislike button. Also drop a comment down below. What do you guys expect to see from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, from the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse, and from the Sony Spider-Verse? What do you guys agree with? What you guys didn't agree with? Who is your favorite Spider-Man character? Who's your favorite? Well, hang on, let me rephrase that. Who's your favorite Spider-Verse character? It can be multiple Spider-Verse characters, or it could be or just one Spider-Verse character from the Spider-Verse. Who's your favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe character? Who's your favorite Marvel Cinematic Multiverse character? anything of Marvel, from the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse and Universe to the Spider-Verse areas. If you're a newcomer just dropping by one of my videos, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button. I welcome all new and old subscribers with open arms. If you're a old subscriber, welcome back. Have a nice day. Have a nice day, night, whenever you're watching this.